Hi, I'm Gary. And
Gee, hello. I'm Leon, the grandfather. What a week.
we
Gosh,
are Gary and
the grandfather.
what's eating away at you?
Just you know how it goes. Lots of things. Things are in the way. People sometimes, sometimes it's just upsetting. Driving the car, all those things, right?
Just
You know?
don't take it so seriously.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah, just relax.
yeah. Sometimes you gotta relax. I mean, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're alive, you're
Yeah.
breathing.
Yeah.
Did you eat?
Yeah, I eat well. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, I eat well.
So you have food?
Eat well today.
You have
Yeah.
shelter?
Yeah, got a nice home, sure. A little money in the bank.
Yeah.
Not bad intelligence.
So there's no point in taking everything so seriously.
Yeah, you could be
I
right.
mean,
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. So, the last few months, I have a friend.
Yeah.
His name is David,
Okay.
and we put together like a little two-piece band. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And so we usually practice, and then we'll go out and we'll perform at some open mics and stuff, just to network, get
Okay.
to know
People.
people, and
Okay.
things like that.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes you just see people at these performances, these open mics and stuff, and you'll see them, and they'll get really, really scared and nervous and uptight, and oh, crap, I made a mistake, or that sounded off, or whatever. But the fact is, you should just go out and not take it so seriously and have fun. Like one of those times when I was out there, we watched a guy, young guy, maybe 17, 18, and one of the other people at the venue, was a woman, cute woman,
Yeah.
who she assisted him playing the guitar because he was just gonna sing.
Okay.
So she played the guitar for him. She'd been playing with other groups and stuff off and on, and she agreed to help play guitar for him. So he sings some songs. He was singing English songs, but this guy, he wasn't a native English speaker. He looked like he was from Taiwan or Hong Kong or
Okay.
someplace like this, China. And so anyways, he's singing these songs. He's young, inexperienced, and then suddenly as he's saying blah 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 blah, blah, oh shit, I forget the words.
Yeah.
And there's like a pause for a moment, and then everyone just erupts into cheers, like woo, good job, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then this guy, his face, is just lit up like it was Christmas Day, because he was inexperienced and he was obviously nervous, singing in a language that wasn't his own.
And then you did it again and got it correct.
No. But he then they went on to the next song.
I see.
But he could have been beating himself up over it and getting upset and angry and feeling embarrassed. But he kind of laughed it off, and everyone was very supportive.
Yeah.
Nobody's laughing at him. They're all very supportive because we've all been there. The people at those type of venues, we've all been there before. Even my friend and I, we performed a few songs, and one of the songs, we performed it right during rehearsal. We got out there and we started playing, and then, he started dropping some notes, and then because of that, I started dropping some notes, and suddenly we're both,
Not quite there.
not quite there. We're playing different things and it's sounding, it's not sounding bad, but it's not sounding right. It's like really weird, and we just kind of look at each other and we laugh, and finally we managed to get back on track eventually. After some crazy improvising on both of our sides,
Got it back on order.
we got back in order, and we just laughed about it. We said, well, that's, that wasn't our best performance, but it was fun, and I think that's what people need to do in life.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
can't take yourself so serious.
That's a good point. Well, Gary, I've done a lot of public speaking, right?
Hmm.
And what you find is that people are on your side. They want you to succeed. They really do.
Oh
They
yeah.
really
Oh
want you
yeah.
to, and I'm sure music's the same.
For sure.
The audience wants you to succeed because already, already that's. I go to a church on Sunday. Tell you a little story,
Hmm.
and I'm a very very shy man,
Hmm.
and I've read, if you're shy and if you're afraid, sit at the front. So what I do is when I go to this church, I get to the very front of the church and sit there. And everyone looks at me like, oh, that guy has got to be so brave. But it's the opposite. The opposite is true. But I'm testing myself because my heart is palpitating just a little bit. I'm a little nervous, but I go to the very, very front.
Yeah.
The priest looks at me and thinks it's normal now. And the more you do it, the more comfortable, curiously, you become. Right?
Yeah.
Because I guess a guy begins to learn eventually that nobody cares. Nobody cares. The emotions are from you, aren't they? And so your point is very true. If I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Not the other guy. He's not nervous. I'm nervous. I'm taking that emotion inside of me, right?
Yeah.
Making myself nervous or powerful or in love or whatever it is, right? Because it's inside of me. I control it. Anthony de Mello, he's a Jesuit priest. He's dead
Mhm.
now. And I remember watching, I read some of his books, but watching one of his videos was very interesting. He said, when I wake up in the morning, if I've had nightmares and it's a terrible day, say, it is having a terrible day. I'm not having a terrible day because I'm a good guy, right? My personality, whatever it is having a bad day.
A bad
That's a
day.
very interesting idea, right? So it's external to me. So he talks like in a way like William James discusses this. Like there's the me in the world,
Mhm.
then there's the I inside of Leon, right? And the I inside is always safe, right? You can't hurt the I. Only I can hurt the I. Now the me, I can be embarrassed or embarrassing or foolish or all of those things. But the I is safe. And then I believe that the I has a connectivity to thou, to God. And so, and then I have that perfect relationship at that point. I'm safe, right? I'm safe. I don't have to worry about being alone because I can't be alone if I have this belief, which I hold to very strongly, curiously. And I've spent a long time coming to this belief. This is not something that dropped out of the sky and I said, oh, I believe. I'm not one of those kind of people at all, But belief in God, call him or her, whatever you like, Gaia, the supreme source, it's there for sure. That's what I believe. So maybe that ties into your idea of not taking yourself too seriously, because it is you who is taking yourself seriously.
Oh, I believe that 100%. I mean, well, going back to what you said about people wanting you to succeed, that everyone's pulling for you.
Yeah.
I mean, the first thing, I learned this years ago when I used to run track and field in high school, right? And I was not one of the best by far, but at least I was still down there, doing laps around the track.
Yeah.
And, you always see people, I think cartoons and, comedy films and stuff where you'll get the maybe it's more American football or whatever, where you get the dad and he's like, oh, that's my boy, and then there's the your kid sucks and whatever. And I've always thought, well, first off, no one ever said anything to me about my performance, good or bad. And I guess when you're running track, one of the nice things is you're competing against yourself. So unless you're running a relay or something, nobody in the stands should have any reason to complain about your performance.
Yeah.
But the second thing that I always told myself is if somebody ever did say to me, oh man, you're just not very good, I'd say to them, okay, well, you get down here, let's have a go together and see
how good you are.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, that just putting yourself in that public sphere to do whatever, performing music, public speaking, sports, even your, something simple as cooking dinner or showing up to your job or whatever.
These are all public things, aren't they?
Yeah.
In a way.
That,
Yeah.
most people are going to be supportive of you, for sure.
Can I tell you a kind of a funny story? It's not
Yeah.
quite exactly like we're describing,
Yeah.
but it's pretty close. One time, I went to my wife's hometown, okay, and we had to exit. We got her mother's car, and we got to exit off in this left turn, and there was a huge lineup of people. So there's a long lineup here, and I didn't quite realize that long lineup here was where I was supposed to start. So there was another road, so I just cut in.
Yeah.
And there was a guy driving this huge Harley Davidson right here, and he's watching me, and he said something, and I just rolled down the window and screamed obscenity at him, right? And then he comes up to me, and I roll down the window, and I'm looking at his navel. He's an enormous man, and he said, "What did you say to me?" And I go, "I said that you're not supposed to be rude, sir." And he said some other things, and he drove away. And my wife said to me, "Why are your ears so red?" And I realized that my ears are so red because I thought they were going to be torn off, right? Along with my nose, right? And I realized sometimes the mouth, better not to say those things, right? So if you're going to be in a public, my point is, if you're going to be in a public venue, say positive things, right? Yeah, that's the point, right?
Well, I think another thing is that there's when you see people, for most people, because we can empathize with people.
Yeah, for sure.
We have empathy.
For sure.
That for most people, if you see somebody who is not performing up to scratch, then you feel almost this moment of awkwardness or even very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's true.
Because of it. And
you can feel it for them almost.
Yeah, you can feel it for them. And I'll never forget, at one of those open mics I'd been to, this was years ago, and there was this guy who was playing guitar, singing. Singing wasn't very great at all. The guitar playing was also not very good. And there he was, first song of the 3 or whatever he was gonna do, just doing really, really horrible, to be honest. And what made it even worse, I think he didn't even realize.
Yeah.
He probably thought he sounded all right.
Yeah.
So this other guy who was hosting the open mic, he picked up his guitar and started playing with the guy. And if the guy was at like a 20% level, it brought the whole act up to an 80%.
Wow.
And just because this guy, he thought, he thought, I can save the first guy, and he saved him, just like that.
Wow. Really kind.
Yeah, really kind. Just saved him.
Wonderful.
Just like that.
Yeah.
And of course, then the guy, he kept playing and playing and practicing, and now he's, he can hold his own during the performances.
Wow, isn't that wonderful?
Now, yeah.
Gary, I was thinking to myself the other day, you can actually do this with people. You can test people. If it's a rainy day, you can say to people, "Wow, what a beautiful day." And somebody will go, "What are you talking about? Are you crazy? It's a terrible day." And you say, No, I'm not God. I can't change the weather, but it's in here. And it catches people. Not everyone. Some people think you're foolish. But every now and then you'll catch someone and go, "You're right. It's my way of thinking." So the young man, having been given some guidance, and don't we all need this in life?
Yeah.
My old friend who's 91, he used to talk to me. I would make some pronounced statement, and he would go, "Oh, here's another way to think think of it, and I'd listen to him and you think, gee, that was kind of foolish of me. I wasn't very thoughtful about that. You know what I mean? But he was never rude, never said you're an idiot, never embarrassed me. That's what I hate about some teachers.
Yeah.
Now, I teach a lot of language, right? And some people say things grammatically incorrectly. For sure, they make grammatical errors, right? And I never correct a person. Never. Why? Because if you have a class of 30 people and you you ask them a question, eventually, if you get, what did you do yesterday? I go to Taipei. I go to Taipei. I go to Taipei. I went to Taipei. Oh. And then I went. And the people that have been saying go realize it's wrong.
Yeah.
You see, you don't have to correct them.
Yeah, they'll self-correct.
They'll self-correct.
For
Far
sure.
healthier.
Yeah.
Far better.
I
Far
totally
better.
agree.
When I learned English all those years ago, I was embarrassed by people.
Yeah.
Embarrassed. Professors would embarrass you, maybe for their own power, right?
Oh yeah.
You probably had that experience. For nothing, just because I can. I'm the professor, right?
Well, going back with the whole laughing at yourself thing. I think sometimes, you need to, if you do something, you need to own it,
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, for some of us, if we're in situations where we do embarrass ourselves, not always, sometimes in our minds we're thinking something we're thinking is good, but it comes out bad.
Yeah.
I think I've
for
watched
sure.
a lot of American Idol auditions and stuff.
Yeah.
Where they say, my friends say I can sing really well, and then they sound terrible. But on the other hand, there's plenty of situations where people they embarrass themselves because they haven't been putting in the work or the time or the effort.
That's right.
But even in those times, you should laugh it off, but you should own it.
Yeah, that's right.
I think
learn
from it. I think if you laugh about it when you own it, if you own it and laugh about it, you can then, change it for the next time.
For sure.
And I have a friend, so back in senior high school, it's a maths class, and so every time we had these exams, this was maybe algebra 2, part 2 or something. Every time we had these exams, the class or 2 classes afterwards, the teacher, she wouldn't give us back our exams because she still, had to record them or whatever in the book or do whatever else she was going to do, but she had the scores marked down. So she said to you, if you want to know your score before you get your test back next week, I'll read it off to you. I'll say your name, your surname. I'll read it off. And then if you don't want me to say it out loud, you just tell me, and then I won't read it out loud. So there's this, so they go through, they say my name, and I hear my score, 95 or whatever. I say, oh, okay, that's good. And then there's another guy, he's a typical jock. He's smart, but he was above average intelligence, but he didn't really put in the effort. It wasn't his priority.
Right.
And he scored okay as well, maybe like 85 or something. This is really well for him.
Yeah.
And then, go down to a few more names, and then my friend, his name comes up. And he's thinking to himself, oh, well, I'm smarter than, that guy.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So, he listens, and she's like, bloody well, 52.
Wow.
She said 52. And so, at this point, he's shocked, because he thought for sure he was
a 90.
a 90 at least.
Yeah.
But he's feeling totally humiliated. But he just stands up in the air and, yes, a 52! And then he sits down again.
Funny. That's funny.
And then inside, he was thinking a lot of things. But on the outside...
Yeah, he looked buoyant. So to
Yeah,
speak.
he did. Yeah.
Funny. I had this friend at university, and you always would tell me off-color jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And once we're sitting in this moral philosophy class, and he starts with this joke, and it's funny. It's about 200 people in his amphitheater, and we had the professor is down there, way down there, writing about ethics and how you should view life, and he's deadly serious. He's written several books on moral philosophy and blah blah blah. And my friend is telling me this off-color joke, and it starts, oh no, grandfather, no, Leon, don't get going, and he adds another point to the joke, and he goes along, and then finally he told me the punchline, just outrageously funny, and I couldn't help myself. I burst out laughing at the point that the professor, and this is why Kant goes. Well, of course, the professor thought that I was laughing at his moral philosophy, of course. And my friend bursts out in laughter at the same time. So the professor looks up, and these two guys have had me on, so to speak, horrified. He says, out. So he threw us out. And then we had to go see him and beg and, scrape and bow and apologize. But it was just, but he took himself way too seriously. Yeah. Way too seriously. Never forgot it though. God, my friend was funny. Funny jokes. Gotta have a laugh, eh, Gary?
Yeah, I think you do. But you just can't take...
because life is not that serious. It really isn't. It's kind of a wonderful experience. Filled with a lot of pain.
Oh, sure.
There's a lot of pain here, too.
I think you can either... there's an old saying, you can either laugh or you can cry.
Yeah. Or both. At the same time.
Yeah. You have kind of a choice. And I think that for most situations, it's better to have a laugh at yourself, than... It's just like the same friend, the one at the 52. When we were in university, he always... If he was trying to ask girls out on dates, he was worthless when it came to that, to be honest.
Wow.
And I have no idea. I guess he didn't have the confidence, because this guy was athletic built. He's a very a kind, intelligent, people would say attractive man, smart.
Right.
Yeah,
No
and
girls.
very concerning for other people.
No girls.
But no girls.
No.
And it was always because of the way he'd asked them out.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where, he could either, get angry about it. And sometimes nowadays you see people on, some of the people are the mass shooters and stuff on TV, and you'll read
Terrible.
the diaries and stuff. It goes back to they asked somebody out and they were rejected by
them,
2 or 3 people.
Yeah,
and
some excuse.
something like that.
There's an organization for that. The women haters, or
I think I do.
something.
Yeah. And so you could take it that way, or you could just take it the way my friend did, where he just said, "Oh well," he laughed it off, and then he even would play back in his mind, like maybe what he did that was he should have done differently. Like okay, this was maybe a little bit off or that, and then things improved when he went into.
May I tell you my first rejection?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Oh, I knew this girl, and this new girl came to our school, and we got to like each other, and her name was Mary. Let's say Mary, and Mary and I became. She became my girl friend. Okay, not my girlfriend. So it's time, Leon. You brave guy. I'm awake all night, planning in my mind. Right, all night.
Oh, no.
Go to school the next day. I see her. I say, Mary, can I talk to you? She said, sure, Leon, sure, but just one moment. I said, sure, Mary. What? I met a boy.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for. And his name is Leon. on. And his name is Bob. I can't do Bob. With all due respect to all the Bobs in the world, you say your name is Bob, and I go, she rejected me, Bob. For you! For you!
Laugh,
Bob.
laugh, Leon, laugh, laugh,
Bob.
laugh, laugh.
I went home in the family room, and I'm laying there, you know. Ooh. And my mother came into the family room and said, "What's wrong, Leon? Are you sick?" I said, "I'm fine." You know, the whole night I played you don't even know this music. You're too young. America's Need You. Horse with No Name.
Oh, I know Horse with No Name.
Okay, well, it's
I'm
same
not that
band.
young.
Same band. You know, and again and again. I never forgot.
Those are classics, Leon.
Are they
Classics.
classic? Oh, okay. Classics. Yeah.
Yeah, those are classics.
So you gotta have a laugh. Laugh.
Yeah.
One of my big speeches at university, deadly serious. I start out, and as soon as I open my mouth, they start to laugh. Think, what the dickens is this? I had not done my laundry, and I had one pair of undershorts left from, it was a joke pair of undershorts with hearts, had hearts on it, and I'd left my pants unzipped.
Oh,
and the,
no.
and the heart was sticking out
Oh,
as I
no.
spoke to 200 people, and they started just laughing and laughing at my very serious speech, until somebody whispered in my, looked at me and went, and I see the heart, and oh no, zipped up, Yeah, gotta laugh.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you don't like my underwear? I thought
Yeah.
it was quite nice. You don't like hearts?
Oh my God. No, I like flowers more, Gary. Flowers are better.
No, if you're laughing at my underwear, donation time afterwards, I'll be over there,
Yeah. Yeah, but it's true though. You gotta have a laugh because life is funny. I mean, you see circumstances. The one I find that is the most curious is how people get angry about nothing. I saw an accident the other day, which wasn't. I think two cars maybe touched each other. And the first guy didn't even realize he had touched the second car.
Yeah.
And he continued on, but there was a stoplight. So he comes to the stoplight, and this guy is here on a diagonal, and he just got out of his car and he ran to the front and he screamed at the guy, and then he ran across the street. There was a police station, and there was no visible damage to the car.
Mhm.
And I thought to myself, wow, man, you're way too serious.
Well, what was he driving?
They're both driving Benzes or something.
Well, that's...
Yeah.
I think the thing about cars, because I really don't get the whole car thing at all. I really don't.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of people, they view the car as an extension of their body. Yeah, for sure. And I think that's the problem right there. Even when I used to have a motorcycle or a scooter or something, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't even anything that extravagant. My bicycle cost more money
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah.
But if when I parked it and I came out later and someone had just even moved it over a little bit or touched it or whatever, I just feel inside, something, boiling up inside, like I've been
Offended somehow.
like
Morally.
well, I was gonna say like somebody had like it's just too strong of a word, I think, but like molested me or something,
Okay.
just by touching my vehicle like that.
Wow. Okay.
And shift it
Yeah,
over.
yeah, okay.
Whereas on the other hand, the contrast, if it were just like they shifted over my notebook or something, I wouldn't feel anything about it.
Yeah.
But I think with vehicles, I think instruments are kind of the same,
Yeah.
the very same way.
For sure.
Touching somebody else's
Yeah.
instrument.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, like you said, with the accident and the anger. It's because they view it as an extension of
The body.
the body, whether it's downstairs or
Yeah.
not they're viewing it as an extension of their body, and that's why there's this
and anger.
just
yeah.
anger, you know.
Vitriol, as they say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
The wonderful part about being a student of history, Gary, you know, and I think you must have remarked on this because you are as well. The one thing about you learn from history is that all of this, all of the books I've collected in a lifetime, all the knickknacks and all that stuff, clothing, everything, can all go away. Can all be burnt down, burnt up. You know, like the horrible things that are going on in Eastern Europe at the moment. Your reality, physical reality, can all go away. Your money, everything. And will I remain if I continue to exist in this world? And the answer is yes. So then I can build a new life.
Yes.
As long as I have me.
Like a phoenix.
Like a
rising
phoenix. As
from
long
the
as I have
ashes.
me, and long as I have the people that I love around me. But even if I don't have the people around me, if I have me.
I think sometimes we need something like that, you know, just a fresh start. I think sometimes people need that, where if things aren't going the way they want, or maybe things are going, they think it's going the way they want, they think it is, but maybe in reality it's not what's best for them, and something else out there is better for them, that they sometimes could use this you know, just to start over again from you know.
Well, I was thinking the book of Job from the Old Testament is an interesting book because, as you know, God takes everything away from Job, but he keeps his faith. But I think the book is meant to suggest whatever happens, I've got to keep my faith in me. Got to keep it. And in the end, if I keep the faith in me, I will be successful. That's all I pray for every day. For my children, the people I love, you, right? Whatever, right? Success. Whatever it means to them. Some people want money, some people want romance, some people want power. It's up to them what they want. But success in their own mind. What I pray for. Right? You know, so.
And, just to, you know, bring this all the way back. That you said about, you know, not losing the faith in you.
Yeah.
And I think being able to laugh at yourself, even when you haven't had a success
Of something. Yeah.
that, you know, probably if you laugh at yourself, you're not going to beat yourself up for it. Therefore, you're likely to, you know, get back in the ring, try it again. And even if you get knocked down 100 times, you're likely to get up, try again. And that kind of personality is going to ultimately bring you back to being successful, finding success with whatever you want. So, and I think, again, it's, you know, not losing faith in yourself, not taking yourself so seriously for your failures.
For sure.
You know,
have a laugh.
have
a laugh.
Oh, Gary out.
The grandfather out. God bless. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.